Alright, a couple of quick and dirty stitch tutorials. First of all, chain stitch. From the bottom of your fabric, bring your needle up and through. We're going to end up making a loop. For now, hold the thread out of the way, go back down through, pretty much through that same hole that you came up. Start to pull your thread down. You can see we have a loop here. Now you will come back up in dead center of that loop wherever you want the stitch to end. So if you want a really long stitch, you could come about here. If you want a really small stitch, you can come in here. I'm kind of holding this all up in the air, so it's a little wonky, but just bear with me. And that is not even because I'm looking at it through the camera. All right, let's do one more, or a couple more. The first one's always a little tricky to get kind of even anyway. The great thing about a chain stitch is you can do it on a curve really easily, and it looks fantastic. I think I'm going to make you dizzy with this video. There are probably better videos out there, but alright, so see, we came back up through the center, like so, and then you have a lovely little chain of stitches. Now, straight up back stitch, you can come up from underneath. Just gonna snug this kind of up. I'm not gonna cut this thread. Also, talking to yourself, really an important part of the process. So however long you want your stitch to be, obviously make that, but now this is where the word back stitch comes into play, because obviously you can't come back up through that same hole because you'll just pull your thread out. So you've probably done back stitch before on something. So you go the same length of your stitch out and then back, and try and go back through that same hole that you used previously. This can make a nice fine tight line. It's great for straight lines. It's great for curved lines, just like whatever. You can also do a fill stitch this way. Basically make a line of them and then go back the other way. You can adjust your texture based on how close together you make them and all of that. But it's not ideal for fill, but if you're doing something small, it works. Split stitch is like a combination of the two. So you'll come up, I don't know how well this split stitch is going to do with this thread. So we just started out like we did with the back stitch, and then we're going to take our needle and split the thread in the middle of that stitch. See, we've got a little thread on both sides. So then it kind of shows up like the chain stitch, but it's thinner. I'm going to play with stitches a little bit. I thought I knew what I wanted to do on the leaves, but once I tried to do them in chain stitch, they're really too small for that to work very well with this thread. So split stitch might be the way to go. All right, so we just came up through, and you can see the thread is on either side of that. And it looks very similar to the chain stitch, just finer. So that may be our winning one for the leaves. Like I said, I'm going to experiment with it just a tad and come back with you on that. Hope this helps.